Mike's Mike.
Oh, I'm not here. Wait.
Defaulted. Right. So it's just me here. There's no article. Ignore the article. Ignore Peter. Mike's gonna kill me.
Yeah, he's gonna love it.
Peter's gonna talk about some first-time experience with new technology on today's not-so-critical update.
Right. After that smooth intro, because I know that Jon's editing is going to be flawless.
Chef's kiss.
Yes. So there was a thread on Twitter that I noticed a little while ago, which was, what's the most magical experience with a tech product you've had in the past year? I'm talking the first time you opened Spotify and realized that all the songs were just there, or the first time you called an Uber and the car showed up, kind of magic, but in the past year. I think this dates both myself and the tweet and the author of this tweet, because the kind of magical experience I remember is like using Google for the first time, and that was like, whoa, this is amazing. And using Wikipedia for the first time is the kind of, which means that I'm officially ancient, despite my boyish good looks and Mike's almost preteen like looks at that moment. Sorry,
me?
John. I know. Yeah. Sorry, not Mike.
Yeah,
John, pardon me.
So
okay, you're the new Mike.
I guess I am the new Mike.
Yeah.
But one thing that comes to mind is, do you remember the first file you downloaded illegally? And not the first file, but the first way.
BBS's.
Okay.
It was before the internet.
I used DC++.
I never
DC++?
I know. I never got into IRC file
sharing,
downloads.
P2P.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction to piracy, and of course I don't do that anymore. And I just remember being shown this by a friend's older brother, and basically what it was that this allowed you to open up your computer's directories, depending on your choice, to the internet, and people would post their entire collection. It was very similar to open directories today, where it'd be movies and TV shows and games and music, and you'd have to go on a hunt to try to find something that you'd like. I don't know. I just thought that was very
digging through Where's FTP servers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was and you these FTP is an ancient file transfer protocol. It's still used sometimes.
Still used.
It's just a way that you can have files on a server somewhere, and you can log in and kind of dig around. And people used to have these elaborately, like, they spend so much time organizing things, and they have hundreds and hundreds of files very carefully organized into category, subcategory, subcategory, and it was kind of I never downloaded anything myself.
Of course not.
I just kind of no.
More of a voyager.
A lurker.
Yeah.
So this was that it for you? Was that your
no. So one thing that I thought about, that I haven't gotten experience first, but like, because this is more about the magical experience, but I think it's important to bring up, which is that Apple just signed a very big contract with a satellite provider whose name is escaping me, to provide basically worldwide emergency service availability.
Oh yeah, with the iPhone 14, right? I heard about this.
With iPhone 14, and I just find it like, this is that first step. This is the first step to constant connectivity, because we almost have it now. Almost. We have it now through cellular connection, and some internet service providers do a public Wi-Fi mesh. Xfinity has, if you have an Xfinity box at home providing you internet, you're also providing potentially other Xfinity customers internet.
Oh
a tethered, like, metered line for like 1 meg down up. So you could walk around a neighborhood, and as long as you're an Xfinity customer, you could on your phone connect to any of those Xfinity boxes and use that internet. I personally hate that. Not a fan of that.
But then, so okay, how is your data then? Do you not have like 4 5G?
Oh, of course we do.
Just
Of course. If you need Wi-Fi though, let's say you're, I don't know, in a dead spot, there's no cellular connection, but there is an Xfinity customer, and you're an Xfinity customer at home, you can then connect to that modem on a different VLAN, completely isolated. Still, I'm not a fan of that. But this kind of does away with dead spots entirely.
Yeah.
No matter where you are in the world.
So do you think that's going to be how it's used then for like actual general connectivity?
For now, it's emergency only. It's just for emergency calls. You press, you don't have service, you do 911, and you will get connected to someone.
Okay. All right. Anyway, let's go back to the
sure.
Well, I suppose this is the thread. I think I feel like we should do an episode on the new Apple stuff. Do you think we get a lot of views? Do you think that would be a good thing?
Oh yeah, people love it.
Oh yeah, we get a lot.
Shit on it. Just
we should do an unbox. We haven't done an unboxing video yet.
No, we haven't.
We need to do it. I do not get unboxing at all. All you're doing is watching someone open a box. It doesn't.
Usually, it's for like collector's edition stuff, though. So like people won't get that, and they're like, "Oh, I want to see what the collector's edition's like, and I want to hear this person's opinion on the collector's edition."
Okay, I kind of get it, but it still seems weird. I know it's thing.
It's advertisement, is what it is.
Yeah. But why it's so popular? That's why I don't really understand. Anyway. So what in the past year, that was your thing then? And that was very recent. Was there anything else?
That's really what came to mind when I read this. What about you? Do you have anything?
Again, weirdly, the thing that I can think of came to me after I noticed this thread, because it's a fairly old thread now. We're recording a little bit after we usually do because Mike's been away and we've had some trouble getting even this shitty
setup
thing
going
together. Yeah, shitty setup. Thank you. But so in the recently, I have been playing with a thing called Stable Diffusion, which is a thing that can generate images. Basically, there was another one that was in the news recently called DALL-E, and you can give it a text prompt, and it will generate an image for you. So you could do something like a floating banana being ridden by a mouse with a cowboy hat in the style of Cézanne, realistic, something like that. And the stuff that it comes up with, this is amazing. Yeah. It really is remarkable. So DALL-E was similar, and it was good. But Stable Diffusion is even more accessible. And what they've done is they've open sourced the model, which is the big difference. So I was able to download it and get it working on a laptop, on a MacBook laptop, and it works on a Windows laptop as well, I think. And I can generate. I have basically an AI that can generate images for me, and it's so good that I don't think I'm ever going to use clip art again. We have our logo for the podcast is this sort of padlock, cyber padlock with kind of breaking away. I found an open license image that we could use. But I started playing around with like cyber padlock with a space background.
That's a great idea.
Padlock breaking away.
Yeah,
and it came up with some really good stuff, man. It was so good, and it has to be open license as well, using community. I forget what the acronym CC0. So there's a thing on their site about it. Anyway, so that for me is the most magical experience in the last year.
Wait, we should totally generate our logo.
Oh yeah. We should. I've got loads of versions, but you can just do more. It's great.
Yeah.
There's a disturbing side to it, and I think we should talk about this in another episode later when Mike's back, because it is something that I think we need to dig into. There's huge implications for this. It's commoditized art creation.
Right.
It's going to put a lot of people out of business, but also maybe it should be putting them out of business. I don't know. That's not going to be a popular comment, I know. Yeah.
The wheel, not the wheel, the motor put horses out of business.
Right? Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And all the people that, instead of being I don't even know what to call them, cart drivers, started instead driving cars.
Yeah, and there's ethical issues like um, where do these images come from? And
Right.
it was trained on 2.3 billion images that it found on the internet, and apparently it's you know,
Is it a
there's
copyright
supposed to be
nightmare? Right.
yeah, kind of, and it's generating new images, but occasionally some of those other images are going to come through, and also if it's based on other people's work, are they owed something
Right.
somehow? And how much what they owed, I don't know. You could say that anybody who's creating images is basing it
Correct.
on other people's stuff as well. So how does that,
Yeah,
whole
freedom.
episode is
This is gonna be right. That's a freedom of information kind of episode. It's gonna be interesting to talk about.
yeah,
Definitely not enough time between us just to we'll
yeah.
start rambling on.
So I had a couple of comments on this thread, though. There seemed to be two major themes. There was a really weird sort of trend throughout it. One of them was a bunch of people who called out just like random startups, and I started looking into them like, this is just like another overhyped
Right.
Web3 or slash I don't know, Silicon Valley's sort of like they've just done a bunch of marketing about it's sort of like a note-taking app that can predict what you're going to be doing next week, kind of thing. Like, just seems like, wow, this is not going to work. Or maybe it will. I don't know. There was that electric vehicles or self-driving vehicles and AI, and there was like DALI and stuff like that came up. Which was there wasn't much else. There, it seems to be a lack of magic in the world these days,
Or a lack of imagination or memory, because there are many things in the past that's happened to me where I've been like, wow, I
but
did that just now.
if it was so cool, wouldn't it stick in your brain? I don't know.
But how many cool things can stick? Right? Like I know one of
Okay.
the I think one of the comments on this thread was having Wi-Fi on an airplane uninterrupted.
Yeah, I remember that one actually. Yeah,
And we don't really realize how cool that is. I think it's because of the maybe the negative notes or preconceived notions that come with flying and connectivity that we're like, no, fuck that. We're not never gonna have any form of internet. So you kind of overlook it, but like that's a pretty big deal. However, I fly across the Atlantic twice, 3 times a year, and that's still a massive 8-hour dead spot. So no Wi-Fi when you're flying across the ocean for some reason.
well, even if you can't, even if you pay for it.
If I recall correctly, no Wi-Fi across the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know
Huh.
why, but maybe that's changed now. I'm not sure. I don't like paying for Wi-Fi on planes. I just sleep, so waste of time.
I never have.
But I do find it interesting that when I did, the connection dropped, and this was a couple of years ago now. So when I did, the connection dropped when we were overseas, flying over the seas. So I don't know. Maybe that's changed. Maybe enough satellite. I don't even really know how it works. Still, I always assumed it was a satellite. Um,
Yeah, it must be
anyway,
right. It has to be unless they've got repeaters across the. I
right,
don't know.
land.
Yeah. So we had Marshall Brain on the show recently, author of Mana, amazing book, and it was so much fun to talk to him. One of the things that came up, and this is kind of a recurring topic, is about good news. About like it's so hard to find good news
Yeah,
these days. And Marshall Brain, being Marshall Brain, because he kind of stumped. He was like, "Yeah, that's a good question. Can't really think of anything right now." Marshall Brain, being Marshall Brain, followed up and sent me an email afterwards, which was very exciting.
what a
It was great
king.
to, I know what a king, right? And he said that, do you know what? The fact that we were able to have that recording where there were 4 people
That's right.
connected from all around the world,
In real time.
speaking in real time,
Yep.
recording it and putting it up on the internet,
And seeing each other.
almost, a couple of days later, and then telling the entire world about it. That is kind of a magical thing. And I
Yeah,
have to say, Marshall, you are 100% correct.
that is.
It
I
is,
agree.
yeah, it's. I think maybe we're just jaded.
Yeah,
Maybe we can't see the
we
magic
don't see
around
it.
us, and these days, yeah,
I can be
maybe
anywhere
I'm
on
just,
Earth and talk to anyone on Earth,
yeah, pretty much.
willing,
You know,
with an internet connection. Of course,
Yeah.
some limits there, but again, yeah, that's possible.
And soon anybody with an iPhone.
Right. And Android, of course, like this is going to just take over. Where I think this was a big problem is internet connectivity at all times, everywhere, no matter where. And next,
the last mile.
I think that the last inch will be solving this is a physics problem, the latency issue. Yeah.
I don't know if that can really be solved.
It's tough. Yeah.
We'll have to involve like quantum entangled phones.
Literally.
That can,
and that's way, way, way beyond my pay grade and Peter's pay grade, and way smarter people are gonna have to figure out how to, I guess, honestly, break the speed of light without breaking the speed of. That makes sense.
So if anybody's still watching, please do comment in down below, like and subscribe, join a Discord, come and tell us what is the most magical thing that you've come across in the last year?
Yeah,
because we really want to hear.